Am I overreacting? I got grossed out when my dad commented on my chest. I'm 15 and have never had a good relationship with my father, 47 male. We argue over a lot. I have to stand up for my sister, and yes, I admit sometimes I make petty teen arguments that are dumb. Well, I got back from my softball game a day ago and my dad came to ask about my game. I told him it was okay and he asked where the next game was. My mom tried to explain it to him but he got confused, so I offered to show him a part on the app my team uses for communication where it shows the location of all games and practices. Well, my dad had his phone in his right hand. I was up next to his left side and reached up to press the button to show him how to do it since he's not good with tech. I feel like it's important to mention I have a very large chest. It's very unproportional to the rest of my frame and it's made me self-conscious for a while. So my chest rubbed up against his arm. It wasn't really rubbing, my chest was just against his arm. I didn't even really notice since he's my dad and I don't really care. Well, all of a sudden my dad goes, "Stop rubbing your boobs up against me." I'm just dumbfounded because he's an adult man and I'm his teen daughter. I was by no means rubbing my chest against him. I could see how I was invading his space. He's autistic but he's normally never had an issue with boundaries. So I take several steps back and just have this disgusted look on my face. My mom, who was sitting right next to us and in the conversation, tells my dad he was being rude. My dad gets super defensive and starts talking about how I was invading his space. He also brings up how he once hooked up with a woman and she was rubbing her stuff against my dad and he tried to advance and she got mad. I feel like that's kind of a weird argument since that's two adults having an adult interaction. Now just standing as far away as I can from him. My dad is overweight. He has a potbelly, I guess you could call it, and I told him, okay, so every time your stomach's in my way I should just comment on how fat it is. Which I do realize was rude and I feel bad about. Then he figures out what he was looking for on the app and leaves. My mom follows him outside and they argue about it. My dad asks if he was wrong. My mom tells him he was. My dad gets mad. My mom tells him he should have just asked me to move instead of commenting on my body like that. Then my dad says, "That's why she doesn't hug me anymore." I haven't hugged my dad in nearly 2 years. It's a boundaries thing and I just don't like hugs and honestly I don't really respect my dad. Now I feel like I overreacted. I was mean to him and made a rude comment and I shouldn't have. It's also been on my mind since it happened and I feel weird thinking about it so long. I don't really want to talk to my dad but I know he's gonna bring it up next time I see and I might overreact again. Am I in the wrong?